Hey, what's up? Hello, it's me, Sam, aka Rengaku, and after much ado, I could finally bring you this video. I have been trying to record for over an hour, but my computer, I learned, cannot handle video editing. So we're still gonna try, but you know, who knows where this actually goes. Not recording this one in my house, notably. There will never be a Rengaku video where I record in the same place, I guess. Um, and my family's home, so they're gonna interrupt me on accident. It's gonna be great. Um, but anywho, this video is not about that. This video is about the EuroBasket tournament this summer and why you, yes, you, as an NBA fan or a basketball fan in general, should watch it. This is assuming that you are an actual basketball fan. Oh, here comes my mom. Oh, no, no, never mind. This is assuming that you are an actual basketball fan. If you're not, I guess my job just got a bit harder, but whatever. So I'll go into like a brief kind of overview of the history of the tournament. So this is I think the 90th year that it's been around, and it was initially dominated by the USSR, who have the most gold medals of anyone. They use medals here for first, second, and third. Um, Then around the 60s is when kind of Yugoslavia came into the picture and became a dominant player. Which you can see is they have the second most gold medals. You can see on this little chart, Editor Sam, of the totals of all the countries. So around after the 70s is when it became more competitive. Basketball became more of a popular sport around Europe, and you see an increased competition and a difference in who wins each summer. Um, you can see Spain's kind of has won a few more than most, but yeah, for the most part, it's been pretty competitive. And so we get to the question of like the title of this video. Why should you care? Why should you watch this sport? Let's say you're probably an NBA fan, and why should you go out of your way to watch international sports? Fair question. That's why I'm talking about this. My two cents is that international sports is great, and that most Americans don't really follow it much because it's not really a thing in the major sports. Um, but I think there's so much, it's so cool, and there's so much room that America and the sports market can grow through this. I mean, the World Cup is next summer, so this is kind of good prep for that. But, you know, international sports is a huge part of like soccer, football, and I love it. It's my favorite part. Um, that's coming from me, like a big geopolitics nerd who loves sports as well. So the collision between those two is just awesome for me. But I think I think so many people would enjoy it too. Because at the end of the day, if you like basketball and just get more content, right? We're in the middle of the off season. Like the season doesn't start for another like month and a bit. And the last time a game was played was like a month and a bit too. So like we're deep in the off season. And okay, so like another option, right, would be like the WNBA. But maybe you don't watch that for reasons. Maybe you're just sexist. That's really what it is anyway. But let's say you don't that's not your cup of tea. It's a whole nother league, whole nother players. Like you need to learn everything. Sure. This you don't need to. Like, if you saw the thumbnail of this video, there's a ton of NBA talent in this competition, and not just like random role players. There are that too, but like Nikola Jokic is the best player in the world. Giannis is probably second or third best player in the world. Like you're getting all stars and the MVPs in this competition. It's not just nobody. Like we should as an NBA fandom care about these kinds of things, and you're seeing this in football right now. The kind of Americanization of these sports, where you have like the ref announcing the call like it would be in the NFL. And I think it's interesting that we could do the other way. That basketball could become more like football. And I think like the Ballon d'Or in football is the most prestigious individual award you can win. And it's not based on whatever league you're from. It's based on football as a whole, based on club and country. And I think a similar thing could be really interesting to apply in the American sports context for basketball, right? Because that just doesn't exist. Like the highest award you can win is like MVP, Finals MVP, maybe. And I'm not saying we should create some other award that doesn't, devalues that. But same with like the in-season cup or the in-season tournament. Like that is a trophy at the end of the day. Like it's better than nothing. It's not the same as an NBA championship for sure, but it is a trophy. You can lift that. And I think NBA fans should just value it a bit more. And you get into this, I've called this like a positive feedback loop idea, where if we as fans care more about it, maybe then the players will care more about it. More players want to go. Like right now, there's in addition to EuroBasket, there's tournaments for all the different continents. Um, and right now there's America, but the best player on the team is like Langston Galloway because no one really cares in America. But if, that was highly valued, or there's some award you could win if you dominated the NBA and international sport, maybe there's some award or there's financial reasons. And maybe, organizations like FIBA could afford to pay players more, to incentivized through money. If there's more viewership, more people are watching the games because people care more, the organizations can afford to give players more. Players will care more. The product becomes better. More people start watching, and you just get this endless loop where we all end up winning because we get more basketball. We get better quality basketball too. Players get to play more, add to their legacies, and the organizations make more money. Like I feel like everyone can really benefit from this kind of system, and I wish it happens. I also like the great Kenny Beecham's take. He has a brand called Enjoy Basketball, where the premise is just go out and enjoy basketball. Like don't be a hater, and there's more to basketball than just the NBA. I think Kenny would agree with a lot of my points on this video of like we should go watch EuroBasket and other tournaments and other FIBA competitions because it's basketball. And again, you're seeing a lot of familiar faces. Some of the best in the game go and compete. Like why would you not care? Alright, after again much further ado because my computer can't record audio, I can finally now actually start speaking. So, after getting bit in like the more, I don't know, nerdy side of it, at the end of the day, let's talk about basketball here. That's what you like. That's what I want to talk about. And so I want to do a little preview because I am someone who is a nerd and watches international sports and has been keeping up with FIBA competitions for the last few years and few tournaments. So I have some opinions on who I think will win, teams to look out for, and just kind of get you up to speed before you start watching the tournament. Which, by the time that this video is out, probably has already started, at least the first few match weeks. There's 4 groups. Four groups, there's 6 teams, and everyone will play each other once. The best 4 teams, record-wise, will move forward. And then there's a 16 team tournament to decide who is the winner and who will get gold, silver, and bronze. And it's just a single elimination tournament style, March Madness style. Should be great. Anywho, let's talk about who we think can actually win this. So I think probably the biggest favorite is Serbia. They came second last year in the Olympics, narrowly losing to the United States. And I mean, they have Nikola Jokic. They also have Bogdan Bogdanovic, who I think is probably the second best player on any team in this tournament, NBA talent wise. And so I think it's just hard to stop them. Like they're a deep team. They've had success in the Olympics and previous tournaments, and it's Nikola freaking Jokic. Like he's a winner, and I'd struggle not being able to. I think it's their tournament to lose, really. I think a big competitor to that would be Germany. They won the World Cup of basketball, the FIBA World Cup in 2023, and they're a really solid team. They have Franz Wagner, they have Dennis Schroeder, and a handful of other NBA guys and other just good European talents like Obst, which means fruit. But they're a really solid team. I expect them to go far. Then we get into these kind of like top-heavy teams. So there's Greece and Slovenia, I'd say, are in this bucket, where they have one really good player, Giannis and Luka Doncic, respectively. And the rest of the team is not great. Greece, for example, they have all the Antetokounmpo brothers, which is kind of cool. But like they're missing Nick Klaitis, who's like a Greece national team legend. I think he's too old. And Slovenia is missing Goran Dragic, who was the MVP for Slovenia when they won the EuroBasket tournament in 2017. So both teams, it's a question of how far can their top guys carry them, and I think they can get pretty far, especially through like the group stage. But in the actual knockout tournaments, it's hard to win outside of the NBA really, with one guy. You need a good team,
You need to play team basketball, and neither teams really do that. So I think they can get far, but not all the way. Um, then there's teams like France or Spain even that are quite deep roster-wise, but don't necessarily have the flashiest of big names. France, for example, is missing their big names of Evan Fournier and Rudy Gobert and even Nicolas Batum, who are all France legends. Um, they're all missing this tournament. They're all, I think, most of them are retired from the team. Like they're too old. And they had come second to the aforementioned Spain in the previous EuroBasket tournament. So they've shown that they can win. However, they have a really young squad right now. They have like Alex Sarr, Richache, Bilal Koulibaly, but they don't have Wemby. But still, like their roster is just really deep. I think they have 8 NBA players, or like players with NBA experience on their team, which is by far the most of like any other team. So while they don't have like the big name, I think you know 2 through 9, 2 through 8, like there's not many better teams than France. Um, Looking over at Spain, they've been a historically pretty dominant team in this tournament, which can be very exciting. But you know they won the last EuroBasket tournament, and they've won a World Cup recently. But you know, it's not the same generation of players. They still have the Hernan Gomez brothers, but and like Santi Aldama, and I don't know. I don't really trust Spain. They also just win too much in international sports, so I don't really want them to win. But I don't know. I'm not a huge believer in them right now. Then we have like some an up and coming team that I'm kind of excited for is Turkey with Alper and Şengün. Turkey's been kind of in the mix with guys like Cedi Osman being their best player in the past, but now they have Şengün. I think that's like really exciting for Turkish basketball, and I don't know. I'm curious to see how well they do in this tournament, and how ready they are right now to compete. They also have Shane Larkin, who is one of the best like naturalized citizens of basketball. You see this a lot in basketball, where there's a lot of Americans who end up playing in Europe or just overseas and become naturalized citizens and then play for that country in international sports. Shane Larkin is one of them. He's maybe one of the best. So he's kind of a legend. So then we have Lithuania, who has Valanciunas but no Sabonis right now. And Lithuanian basketball, like basketball, is the most popular sport in Lithuania. It's the heart of European basketball, and so I think that on that alone, that gives them a little bit of a boost. But no Sabonis is a big loss. But I think they're fun teams. They have Ignis Bartstakis, Knicks and Magic legend, who has been very good for them. Then there's Latvia with Kristaps Porzingis, who didn't play in the World Cup, but Latvia had a pretty deep run without him. So combining that team with the star power of Kristaps, I think could be pretty dangerous. Then we have Bosnia and Herzegovina with Blazers legend Yusuf Nurkic. I don't think they're going to do very well because of that. Similarly, there's Montenegro with Nikola Vucevic as their star boy. I don't really think that's going to be a winning recipe, but we'll see. Then Finland. Finland, I think, is kind of a dark horse, like their rock music is, uh, because Lauri Markkanen has been fantastic. He's shooting so good for Finland. It's like he's back in the army. Like it's actually insane. So he's almost in like the Slovenia or Greece territory of one star player being able to really elevate a team and their ceiling. Then there's a handful of teams that have kind of smaller name players that I can appreciate because I'm a nerd and I know these guys because of their nationalities. Like Vít Krejci, I know because I'm an NBA nerd and he's representing Czechia. And that, back to the positive feedback loop, like because I know who that is, that makes Czechia a little bit more watchable. Or Nemes Kita for Portugal. That's kind of cool seeing him in the spotlight. Um, or Mamu, who played for the Bucks and the Spurs. He's one of the big faces for Georgia, along with Goga Badatse, who's also a Magic legend. Great Britain always sucks in international basketball. I saw them in the women's tournament earlier this summer. They're not good. Their best player is OG Anunoby, but I don't like he's British, but I don't think he's ever actually played for them. I don't think he ever will. But again, if fans care more about more, maybe he would suit up. And then Great Britain's a better watch because there's more things to see there. There's Italy, who has Danilo Gallinari. They don't have Dante DiVincenzo or Paolo Banchero, both of which chose not to play in this tournament, interestingly enough. for different reasons. But and with that, that kind of wraps up this little video just coming up. What to expect from this tournament. Go and watch it. You can watch it on Courtside 891. I'm not sponsored or anything, but that's like the best way to watch it. And follow it however you want. Watch the actual games if you don't have a job like me and have no life. You can watch international sports at 8:30 in the morning on a weekday. If you do have a job for whatever reason, I guess you could just watch the highlights or check box scores and stuff. Follow it the way you can, and yeah, let's make something out of this because why not? It's gonna be played regardless. May as well watch it and enjoy it. Try to make it a little bit better, get more eyes on it, get more revenue on it. So in the future it'll be even better and stronger. And yeah, bye.